I need an estate. I want to build an estate for all my team members. So it's going to be an estate, but it will be at least about 200 of such houses. Yeah, so we have detailed plans that's moving there, so that all the people with me will be in the same team. Yeah, visual time. Well, we will live in the same company, sorry.
In the same camp.
Yeah.
Language.
Okay. Hello, everybody. Sunday Dilaja here from Kyiv, Ukraine. I want to use the opportunity to welcome you, but this is not live because we are talking about Nigerian and our strategy for Nigeria. So we have decided that we are not going to broadcast this one. We just, we are going to show it to people who are here for the HMT. They paid the price to be here. And I think they also deserve, they deserve to be a partaker and to know some of these things. So the thing I'm going to, the system I want to show you today for these history makers is how we plan to reorient and to re-educate Nigerians. So what are we talking about here? Reorientation has to do with mindset. So I think most Nigerians will understand that our mindset and value system is totally collapsed. And so reorientation is all about mindset displacement. We have to uproot the evil mindset, the present mindset that we have right now in Nigeria, and put on them or teach them and give them another orientation so that our people will become people of values. And besides that, we also know that Nigerians, we have double work to do in Nigeria. Orientation is to do with people's value system, but education is to do with people just even not knowing how to read and write. So there are two assignments here. We want to use accelerated learning. There is something they call accelerated learning, the formula system that we are going to use to teach people to the whole country in a matter of few years, maybe two years, 5 years, to teach them to how to read and write the whole country, but not just read and write, but more than that, including values. But for the people who already know how to read and write, who are educated, we are going to teach them and reorientate them on values. So here we are. Oh, here we come. First of all, I will give you the big picture because this is a bit complicated. So we have to give you the big picture of what we are doing with this Nigerian transformation planning strategy. We have big four replacement. There are four main things that we must replace in Nigeria. We are not talking about repairs, but replacement. With Nigeria now and the way we are and how bad things have become, it's impossible to repair things in Nigeria. Including human beings. Our values and value system in Nigeria must be replaced, not repaired, not corrected. There is no way to talk about correction in Nigeria right now. Even our whole infrastructure, our whole country has to be replaced, not repaired. So the big four replacement that we want to do is economy. We must replace everything, not repair. Infrastructure, I told you already about that. We must replace that. Education, this is where we are right now. Education and value system reorientation, which is number 4 to value mindset or values, engineer the environment. So we have to, these are the strategy, So these are the 4 things, these are the strategy. The economy I showed you already is best quality of life. So these things we are changing, but these are the things we are replacing them with. So with the economy, you already know what we are talking about. It's best quality of life. With infrastructure, it's national backbone. With education, to let people just read and write and be educated, it's accelerated learning we're going to use. with mindset or value system, it's orientation, or we are going to use, we call it engineered environment, because you remember somebody taught you this week that 50% is environment. Yeah. So we are using that a lot. We want to create a new environment, because without environment, no matter what I teach, no matter how good a teacher I am, even we that are in the West, environment has changed us a little bit, even without information and without all that character. So by the time we put people in the environment, it will be easier to do the character. No, you can't hear me? It will be easier to do the character and the the knowledge to add to it, because 50% is environment, 40% is character, and 10% is knowledge. So yeah, but the environment is 50%. So if you don't put them in a new environment, the possibility of change is very difficult. Now, some people will say, but there are Nigerians or Africans who have changed their environment. They have come to the West, but they have not changed. Yes, because apart from the environment, which is 50%, they need another 50%, which is 40% character and 10% knowledge. So, but when you have even character and knowledge, without the other 50% environment, so it's almost like saying people in Nigeria, it's a hard, it's a high call. I mean, or what they call it, tough call for them to say that they will change without ever saying something better, without ever seeing a new environment. So one of the frontline strategies that we are talking about, when we talk about frontline, you are going to see here, is to create a new environment. So replacement of infrastructure, for example. So let's say somebody has this kind of a house. We are going to say, okay, will you rather stay here or you go here? What do you think Nigerians do? Because somebody is saying, how will you convince them to leave their father's house? If your father's house is like this,
somebody's offering this. Oh my
and someone is offering this, and you are talking about father's house. But that's a big challenge people say we are going to have in Nigeria. That, people are talking about the ancestral land and there's something like that. But they are in that ancestral land dying of hunger. Well, if there is a need to eat, I think they would rather, because they will get land here too. Only a better one than ancestral land. So we are just swapping and giving them. So we want to rebuild Nigeria completely.
I said, oh my God.
Mrs. Komolafe, Mrs. Kolawole, you are probably thinking, God, let me live long.
Yes.
Let me live long to be able to see this. Pray that God will know that I don't know God's perfect plan. In all things, even me, I have factors of constraint. And the factor of constraint is what only God can do. For example, if God doesn't make it for my case to stop this year, for example, it's going to be very difficult to start this thing next year. So some of the prayers we have to pray that is, no matter how we pray, we cannot manipulate God. So it has to be, we have to fall in line with God's plan that. But what I'm feeling in my heart is that it will happen this year. Amen. So then we could start working next year. Give the microphone to him. Is he on?
Someone living in that house.
Yes.
And then moving to that one.
Yes.
What is his work?
It's what?
His ability to live and maintain. What is the standard of earning?
Good, mother.
The standard of earning
to maintain
here.
Mm-hmm. We are going to give them work, but before then, even for him to not turn this one to this one also is a problem.
Yeah.
So you will be impressed by the things I'm going to show you now.
Okay.
All that is going to be answered as we are going on. What about this?
Oh, I saw a lot of that in Benue when I went to go.
In the north.
A lot. I've seen it for the first time in my life when I went to Google.
This one is still better than the old one that was.
This is better, eh?
Yeah.
Better than that house. That was sitting on a ramp.
So this is better than.
The previous one.
Hey.
Yeah.
You mean this is better than this?
It's better than that, yeah.
Yeah, because I went inside that one you just showed, because I was asking them and they said it's very cool. So I went inside through and I found it very cool.
Okay. Anyway, I'm going to court at 12, so let me quickly. So we'll replace. This is Lagos Ajegule here, and we wanted to make it like this. So this is what replacement means. Old replacement, not repair. You know, you can try to repair this. It will never be like this. So that's why we are talking about replacement instead of repairs. You can try to repair this. It will never become like this.
Yeah.
So Nigeria, that is the same case scenario. Nigeria, everything has to be replaced rather than repair. So our strategy is that nothing could be repaired now. Nothing can be done for Nigeria for things to be repaired. If repair strategy is, that's what our government is doing right now. Oh, that road is spoiled. Oh, we quickly go and get the Chinese to repair it. Oh, that railway is broken. We want to repair and build one little list. But no, we have to replace the whole country. That's the way to go. You know, that's the way to go. Our port is like this now. How can you do using it as this port when you can do this? So we've got to. Okay, temporary. You know, the temporary. These are good inside though. They are houses inside, but they are temporary place. We are going to, when we are training them, we are going to move them before they get to this one. When we are still constructing something, we are going to replace. We are move them here. Even people who will come with me from here, we will temporarily be living in something like this. Yes, but inside will be like here. But these are just cheaper for than yes, there are containers like this all over the world that are just that we could, especially in Canada and places like that. So we can bring them. We want to bring them in from Canada, from Asia, and just put furniture inside. So we want to replace, say, infrastructure. See what is happening in Nigeria. You know, people are living there now. Human beings. With this kind of thing. See the road? Is this road? Because there is no forestry in Nigeria. You know, nobody is caring for. Nobody is cleaning it, no mark, nothing. What are you going to talk about? So everything has to be replaced. No need for repairs. Look at this one. This road, though. The car almost got lost inside. This thing can disappear inside this road, and these ones are still planning to pass through this here. And this road, you know what road is it? Is the one that goes to Oyedepo's church. Yanokwaja.
That's true.
Yanokwaja area. Yeah, it goes to Ota. You see. Look at Nigeria. Area boys. This is an area boy now. We want to replace them with. So everything has to be replaced. Maybe you want to move close or what? You people are struggling. You might need to move close. Yeah. Like, you know, with the way we did it, move that thing back a little bit. No, do it. And move it. No, don't move it that way.
Move it back. Okay.
Yeah. Don't make too much noise. No, you have to pick the chair. Don't make noise. And she, don't make noise. Pick it up. You have to stand. Have patience. You know the way we did it 2 days ago. Are you sure you are not sitting in a way to block them? No, I'm talking to Shion. Yeah, well, you ask him. If you sit and see. Even if you don't see anything, this is what you go see. A human being. No. So replace students, young people. So now, this is legacy zone, zone A, we call it. This is the existing Nigerian society now. We put it in red. So anytime you say, you are recording video. That's why we didn't record what is something now. You can do photograph, but no video. No, but photograph is okay, but not video now.
Only because when you're putting it up, you're blocking other people. And also it's just...
No, let them do photograph. Just they should be careful not to block other people. But video is not proper. So when you see the red like this we are talking, this concept, with this concept we are calling 3-zone concept. So zone A is, we call legacy zone. That's the legacy we gave us our forefathers. That's what we inherited. The Nigeria we inherited from them. So this red one is legacy zone. This is the existing society as we have it today. Okay, frontier definition. So then we have frontier. So what is frontier? A frontier is the political geographical area near or beyond a boundary. The significance of the frontier is that as people move into the frontier zone, they are changed by the encounters. You see where we are going now? We are going to how we are going to reorient and re-educate. So the whole strategy, the whole idea of the strategy of the frontier is to be able to change people both from inside and outside. It offers the psychological sense of unlimited opportunity, thus has many consequences such as optimism, future orientation, shedding of wrong beliefs, and old habits. So that's what it does to them. It will give them orientation about the future, that life that they will have. It will give them optimism. When they see, from that shack, when they see the house, optimism will come. Future orientation, shedding of wrong beliefs and habits. Those are the value system. Okay. So why frontier zone? The frontier zone will provide the needed isolation from the legacy zone. We need to isolate every one of them. That is the environment. Isolate them from the old environment. Yes. To get the highest possible impact at the shortest possible time at the lowest possible cost. The frontier zone will provide a proving ground to develop and test human responses. See what we are doing? Test human responses to various psychological stimuli. We are going to be constructing different behavioral patterns and manners and tests and things. And well-controlled environment. The frontier zone will also provide an environment for testing infrastructure prototypes, various materials, equipment to see how they respond to our weather with regards to operations, maintenance, and cleaning. To rebuild everything, we need some testing ground for everything new that we are going to bring to the nation. So that is the way it will look. So the red one is the legacy zone. Tell me what's the legacy zone? The one we inherited, what we have now. And the frontier zone will be the testing ground. That's so where, but then where we are going is the best quality of life. That is when the red one has now been replaced totally. And this one, everything is now mashed together with this. So you people got it, huh? Yes. Oh, you are learning very fast. So since we cannot replace Nigeria, when it's one country like this, you want to replace the whole thing. People will say, how can you replace and rebuild the whole country? So you get it. That strategy of, you know, zone A, B, C. Frontier will really is the real key here. If you don't get it, how we are going to replace, I will do it. Let's continue. So we are going to empty this. If this will be the passage. Where you they laugh? Transit camp. And this will be this one we vacated that we are refilling again. By the time we refill it, it will be blue. Yeah. It will be the best quality of life. Yeah. Where did they make you laugh now?
No, this is like having three Nigeria.
Because that's the system. Because and I'm sure it is because of this that Nigerian people cannot even, Nigerian government doesn't even, they don't know how to replace. How can you replace? They know, they understand that things are so bad, things are beyond repairs. Yes. I'm sure they all feel that and they know that. But they will be thinking, how can we even replace this thing? So they did one Abuja, I think this is the only thing they could do. But no, when you apply system, you could actually replace everything. And this is the strategy we are showing you here right now. So, how will the flow be? Every week, we plan to evacuate 235,000 weekly people from the old legacy territory to the temporary. You remember I told you we'll start from here somewhere, reclaim land. And then we'll have those frontiers landing in all the six geopolitical zones. So from each one of them, we are going to be evacuating. Weekly, it will be like this. So we will evacuate them here. And then by the time we train, they finish their training here, they will be resettled again, little by little, back to the. But all the other countries, the people are still living there. But the little something that has been cleared, they just want to occupy it. But they'll be going to visit their relatives. Like going to London.
Yeah. So how long will they stay in the frontier?
You will get there now. We'll get there now. So the maximum size of the frontier will be 50 million. But it will be filled up in 3 years. So people movement. From we plan to, if we start the project on time, let's just assume that from 2020 we start, it will be gradual like this till 2007. 2027, yeah, sorry. 2007. It's too complicated for you? No problem. I think you have an idea. Yeah, so the geographical challenge, all the slides before now has been showing the legacy, the frontier, and the best quality of life in separate geographical zones. It would have been easier if we had 3 separate countries. But if we had 3 separate geographical zones, we would have placed them within Africa as within the next 2 slides, as shown in the next 2 slides. Since we don't have 3 separate Nigeria, we will have to create 3 zones within the same geographical. If we had been another Nigeria here, another Nigeria, then we'll just take all the people there and come like this. Well, it's not possible to do this. So we have to use another strategy, which is the frontier strategy. So since we cannot do that, so what we are now doing is in one land space. So you see, the same land space is this. Everything is in the same country, right? So we have to see that, you know, this is the example. You see the country. We already showed you the red. I'm not showing it because this is it. So. But we are not showing the whole full something because the space will not be permitted. So we're just showing the diagram for you to know. Okay. So the legacy, just follow the red, the color. So it's people who move here. I've already explained that to you, right? Separate land space, same land space. Okay, this is the way. This is if it was separate, sorry. If it was separate, it would have been like this. But since it's the same land space, so can you see this now the way it is? Can you understand this? Yes. Or you can't? Green is the frontier. Blue is resettled people. By the time they are resettled. But the place we are all coming from is red. Is it clear enough or is not? Yeah?
So that red will now be converted to blue.
Yeah,
so
because this whole place was red before.
Yes.
We first of all created the green. Because we move people from here, move people from here, and created the green. So now that they have been, they have been returned here, and the people here are coming here. So that by the time they come here, it's empty again. So then we turn it into blue. By the time we take them back. It's not clear? I want feedback. Is it on?
So while in the frontier,
yes,
the best quality of life place, like what you're rebuilding, you'll be rebuilding it closer to where the frontier.
You got it.
Yeah, then you'll be moving out.
You got it.
That's what I get.
That is what is happening here. Yeah. Because we'll start with the people who are closest here. Yeah. Okay, for example, we're starting, I told you the map. We're starting here. So the people who live closest to that place are the ones who are the first. Yeah. But because it's not just here, it's in 6 the people who are closest to the territory we choose are the ones we take. So once we took out, we reload it back. Then the ones who are closest next are the, you see? So that's the way it shows here. You got it now? Yes. It's okay. You explain to us what you got.
Well, at first I didn't understand the red on top and the red on the bottom. Okay. And then I figured out that when you're in the frontier space where everybody is, then it's easier to start working on people at that frontier while the work is going on at the best quality of life place. And then it's also easier to start moving people back, not across some part of Nigeria somewhere, but just systematically moving out. So
yes.
So, sorry, sir.
We are gradually shifting it. Yes.
So with the vast empty land that we have, instead of the up and down, you can use the empty lands you can develop the empty lands first, then move people into the new.
That's exactly what we are doing.
No. Instead, from what I can get from here, because what I saw they did in Bonny Island was the people were in their place. They didn't move them. They developed the virgin land. They moved them into the new developed area. Then cleared.
That's exactly what we are talking about.
They cleared the old site for the project.
That's exactly what we are doing. It's exactly the same thing.
Okay.
I don't know why you don't get it here, but it's the same.
Why I didn't get it here is that you are bringing in containers to have temporary.
No. That is, forget about that one. That is just the initial. Okay. The initial for the workers and people like us who just came. Okay. Because when we arrive now, we will not have built anything. Okay. That, not everywhere, not all over the country. That's just for us. And for people, the first one. You want to say something? No. Okay. Huh?
The Bonny project
is different.
It's a little bit different.
No problem. We are not going to spend time on that. So this is a legacy. Okay, can you see this red thing you said you didn't understand? See the explanation now. This is the whole country. You remember I told you that the red, you should remember, is the legacy. Yes. And it's always referring to the Nigeria we have now. Yes. Anytime you see green, it's referring to the temporary frontier, the camp, where we are rebuilding first and experimenting everything. Frontier. Then the one is referring to the future. So this is what we are trying to do here. But see the explanation. So what is this? Tell me. This is old Nigeria the way it is now. So we will have to start frontier from somewhere. So that's where you will need initially the frontier, the what you are talking about, Fontana and something, because we have to start somewhere, but we have to fence it off, this territory. While we are building it, we have to build Europe here first. And the workers have to stay somewhere. And the place they are going to stay to has to be sanitized. They cannot just be staying here and trying to be going to build here. No. Even the workers have to be sanitized. They have to be removed from this environment. That's why we had that container and something like that. So are we fine?
Yes.
Because with the people who are going to be living here by the time it's finished, frontier, are from the closest territory. You see, they're about the same size here. They are now moved here. So while they are being trained here, we are building this one to be like here too. So that's why this one is spreading. It's becoming the future. We are building the future there. While we brought them here, we are building the future here. And then so little by little we take from here too. And then it will, that's why you have this thing spreading until it takes over the whole place.
Yes. It's easier. And it's easier for the people working to work closer to where they are.
Yes.
Instead of you are from just
from all over the place.
So you do your work here, come back into
and
frontier, and then it's you spread out.
And the same atmosphere. It's going to be the same environment. So you see it here now. That's what I tried to explain. This is going to be, people are being trained and be returned to this place. That's how we are building the new country. Is it clear?
Yes.
Okay. So, sequence of growth for segment 1. Okay, one frontier segment. You see the country where we started with, then the frontier. You see the frontier was big, but it was little something. The people that we started with, just a little population that were trained first, because in the beginning we start with not few number 200 and something. By the time we look at them back, the frontier is even still bigger than them. But by the time we are training more and more, see, it's big, it's getting bigger and bigger, getting bigger and bigger until it's almost control the whole country. You understand? And the frontier also will merge with the or something later on, because the frontier is just the experiment. When the experiment comes, everything becomes best quality of life. Yes, sir.
A very quick comment. I think for me, it's easier to get it frontier as transition.
Yeah, you can use another word, any word you want.
Yeah.
Anything that is easier for you. But for Akwob, for example, it's easier for him to say camp. Transit camp.
Yes, it's not about
Yeah, so it's not about the language. Anything you want, you make use.
Movement of people will be controlled. So that
Oh, yeah. So, mechanics of the guerrilla narrative. People, legacy extraction. So, how are we going to move people from the old Nigeria? People are pulled out of old society and inserted into the frontier, leaving behind all bad influences and limitations. That's important for us. Then phase 2, best quality of life migration. After people have acquired education, and because that's what is happening in the frontier, reorientation and education. After and the new mindset as a result of their experience in the frontier, and finish the construction of both the backbone and the best quality of life, they will migrate back into the best quality of life, which was used to be legacy. The success of all. Hegel, you are really very interested. I see Hegel. He is really very interested. Hegel, you are really showing very interest, as if you are the Nigerian here. Engineer, I think it's because of engineer brain. The way he's really. I think you will like our mind, my mind and the mind of my team that is developed this. Yeah, so the success of all these people movement will depend on the aggressive and vigorous use of geospatial technology. And that's a technology in determining the things that are happening in the land. We could survey the land and, you know, make analysis of the soil, what is inside, how much, you know, what is best to do there. Is it factories or human being? Is it, you know, all kind of, you don't need that, that's just. We will use geospatial GIS, Geographic Information System, for proper placement of frontier segments to minimize interference with existing communities in the legacy zone, because they are still living close. Proper placement of the national backbone to, you know, we will use that technology to be able to know where to put all the infrastructure, so that it will not, you know, spoil people's, you know, destroy things. But so the placement of the national backbone to maximize the use of the landscapes. Planning the rerouting of rivers, because we have to reroute rivers and put them in an organized way. You know, in this West, you see their rivers, they are so fine. And you see their beaches as if, how can they be so good? Because they manage them. They've organized those rivers even. Everything has to be organized. So planning rerouting of the rivers, streams, and waterways. Planning the construction of new communities in the best quality zone. Planning the movement of people from one zone to another. Planning the security and isolation of one zone from another. We will develop geospatial policies of how to handle landscape obstructions like rivers, hills, and forests. Will include when to use bridges, because, you know, you have to know, those technology will help us to know where to put bridges, when to use bridges, when to use tunnels, when to go underground and, you know, or roadways, where to place highway interchanges. The final policies development will be coordinated by the LTO team and will be jointly developed by the federal government of Nigeria, local government, and geospatial team. That's why we need the government. We then must agree that we need a new country, and they must allow us to work. That is where I'm praying that they will not force me to be politically involved. I hope that if we be able to do a good presentation to them, that they will understand. I want to hope that all Nigerians will understand the need for this thing. But from the things I'm hearing, I think normal human beings should understand this. But from what I'm hearing about politicians, Nigeria, and people's ego, well, we need prayers. We will develop geospatial policies for how to handle frontier encroachment on inhabited areas in the legacy zone. Will include when to compensate the locals. So that's when somebody was asking yesterday that what about if somebody has a good house? Is it you? You are the one. If somebody has a good house, so there will be different scenarios. Some people, like those other houses that we saw, the shacks and the huts, we just give them, we don't need compensation because we already compensated them with a bigger, But there are some things we might need to be destroyed, and they are still good, and you know, we'll see how maybe they will need compensation. Then we will also, it will help us to also decide when to reset to the locals, when to compensate and reset to the locals, when to absorb the locals into the frontier zone, when to reroute the frontier to avoid the locals, when to do nothing. The final policies development will be coordinated by the federal government, local government, and we will be working with the people on ground. So frontier segment camps, this is what you want to know. When we already know that we are bringing people from the legacy zone, from the old Nigeria, into the frontier. Okay, so this is the frontier now. This is the way frontier is going to look. This is still Nigeria, but these are the places where the infrastructures are going to be. But this is the frontier gate. The people will be brought into the main camp. 230, what do we call it? 35,000. Yeah, they will be in the main camp. This is where the orientation takes place, or what we call in this country we used to call it quarantine. You know, I remember. You know, I quarantine. Yeah, you remember I showed you that quarantine 2 days ago. This is what we are doing. We didn't call it quarantine. We call it main camp. But we know where we are going to be. We are going to be. But in this place, we are doing quarantine for drugs and to clean them up, cast the spirit out and things. But with Nigerians, it is the spirit of the mentality. Mental spirit that needs to be cast out, and the religion and everything. So it's a quarantine from all the things we have grown up with. So, but the fact that you know, so we'll take them to, this is the main one after finish, but this is where we start. Gate starts here, we go to the boot camp, this is where the quarantine will take place. So after finishing a boot camp, you will go to, the fact that you have been quarantined doesn't mean that you're okay. It depends on how bad your situation is. The ones that are really bad, those are the people who cannot read and write. They go to camp 1. So by the time you finish this camp 1, the whole of Nigeria will go through this. So all 200 million.
Yeah.
So the ones that cannot, the worst case scenario will be group 1. So by the time you finish this group 1, you know how to read and write. But the ones who already know how to read and write, they are going to group 2. So we are not teaching you how to read and write, but we are teaching you how to be civilized. Even though you know how to read and write, but that so that's the orientation that will be taking place. So we need professionals still to help us develop everything into teaching model and things like that. But these are the concepts we are just giving you, the idea. So, but the people who have been to abroad and who have lived abroad, they will be maybe in camp 3. Because they also need the orientation and their value system too. But they are not starting with how to read and write. And they are also not starting with these ones that have not lived abroad, even though they know how to read and write, but they don't know some basic something. But all of them we have to go until they finish here. So for example, we finish the 235,000 start from here, then they move here. By the time they move here, another one has come in. You understand? Yes. By the time we finish with this one, other one, this one, the same amount of people from here are moving here. Then they are filling the thing back. I don't know if you people are getting their own idea. So that's how we plan to re-educate and meanwhile, the infrastructures are being built. The national backbone are being built here. While we are building mental backbone in this place. Yeah, so the front line is divided on different levels. You see, this 1 and 2 is for people where the orientation is taking place. But these other ones are all the backbone infrastructure that I showed you. They are also being done. So while we are doing, the intellectual people are doing their human work, the technical people are doing the construction.
So the 50 kilometer by 1 kilometer is for people. The 50 kilometer by 2 kilometer is for the infrastructure.
Yes. Yeah, you will still say. So this is the way it will look like. Boot camp, 1,000 at a time. Then, but you know, we will be putting them 1,000 here until it's 5,000. Then group G with also 10,000. You know, until So this is migration, but depending on how, so you have to give exams. Yes, on how successful you have become. Yes.
So what happens to normal everyday life? So those that are kind of like maybe they work in banks, are they going to just stop everything?
Yes, their bank work is going to be going on where the other, you know, the life continues as usual. Yes. In the place where the old Nigeria. Yes. Life is continuing, and all those banks are being built back in the new place we are doing. So the only people, that's why at the time we only have 200 and something. It's not 5 million or the whole country, because even right now in Nigeria, I don't think it's 200 and something that are not employed. I think maybe millions are not even employed, that are not doing anything. So these ones, they will even give them employment. Everybody will be more employed than before. But it will be rotation. Other people are going back to their work, and other people are coming through the training. It's going to be seamlessly done. So it's not that we are going to just bring everybody will live their normal life and something. No, it's going to be seamlessly done systematically. So no matter, even though the people who are going through the training at the same time will be, let's say, 500,000 or 250,000, but that is nothing, that they are not working, they are just being trained. That is nothing compared to the ones who are not even working now. I don't know if you are getting it.
With the size you're using, 235,000 at a time, the rest of the country will not even know that anything is going
I heard that some people will go into a camp, redeem camp, for example, 2 million people. Nobody even knows anything is going on. Yeah. You'll be in Lagos, you will not even know anything is happening there. Unless because of the go slow, no, the traffic.
People won't even know.
That country is too big, go. Anyway, but do you people understand this?
Yes.
No, Chris, do you understand this thing, this diagram here? Or you can explain your own words.
I think this is the picture of the whole frontier, but broken down into...
Not the whole frontier, the human training.
Just the human training orientation part of that frontier. So broken down into different segments or into different...
No, it's the movement. No, we are now showing you the movement.
Yeah, it's the stages, that's what I'm saying. Because not everybody will come to the first stage, where is the proper orientation for those who cannot read, those who cannot write and all that. But if you can read and write, you just go straight to the second stage rather
so
than
you see the movement going until they finish at the time. Yes. So the educated people, you see, 1,000, the family, people with the family, they have different camp for them. So when we have with children, if you are with children, if you are with, if you are already, enlightened abroad. So this is the way it will look. Weekly inflow. To camp 1, we have 1,000 G, 1,000 then, total 114,000, capacity 174,000, weekly outflow. Okay? And then the duration, this is the question you ask. The duration of the training. So this is the way it will be. In this level, it will be 5 weeks, 5 weeks, 5 weeks. So it's not like it's going to be forever, but we are going to give them in that 5, not like HMT here. Not HMT now. It's going to be intense. For children also. Children are also going through the same training. Is it okay? Yes. Is it clear to you? Okay.
Serious.
Serious in what sense?
This is deep.
Where is the microphone? Leave out. I want to hear what's going on in your mind.
All these while we've done several sessions about Nigeria.
Okay.
But this is detail. And the detail it's overwhelming, not in a negative way. It's impressive. It's impressive. It's thorough. That means it's like covered all the areas, and thank God you are doing this for us. Yeah. And thank God we have been abroad.
Even
and
if
we've
had done it on live, they would have castigated me.
It's too much for people.
Because they will be confused, and they will not admit that they are confused. Yeah. They will make me to blame. They will make me to be the one to blame.
The only one they will understand is you showing the picture of the
end result.
That's all.
Even when they come in like that first stage, and I know how people like every single step there will be complaint. Even as you are doing something good for them, so it's like I'm just thinking as I'm saying this, how do you close that and just stop them and keep them calm enough that 52 weeks, 78 weeks, we're going to do this, and just follow the process.
I think we are going to Dagode, or what is it? Dagode carrot before them. What is waiting?
Yeah, you have to, because even as you are doing the good thing for them, they can't see what you're doing. Yeah, so they'll
we will Dagode the carrot. We will show them the future that is waiting for them.
Yeah. And also, sir, what about is there going to be of course, they have to know the number of people that live in Nigeria, because
it doesn't even matter how many, but we just know how much we can deal with at each time. Okay. Even if they are going to be 10 times the one we thought, we will just continue until everybody. So this is the way we are going to also create metric for them, because they will not just enter like that. They will get, so we'll get their thumbprint, we'll get all their information. So that is how we are going to form the create database for the whole country. Yes. Because without that, you cannot have security. Something without that, we cannot know no record. Right now, there is no record, but then there will be record because everybody will be made to pass through. So if you don't have that record, if you are not in the biometrics, then you have not passed through the training. So you have to go. You can't be a citizen. So this is where they will get the cards and everything. Comfort.
Yeah, my only concern, listening to what you are saying from the human aspect of things, that people are very complex. Yeah, and then to train people, from my own experience dealing with complex people, for example, people like self-neglect or condition that go, it's very difficult. It's intense work, complex work to deal with them too.
Maybe you are an expert in this, because we need experts. Like I said, we need 230 something thousand experts, or maybe 250,000
it takes
in
time,
different ways.
because people need to develop a relationship with you.
No, it will not take time like that. Just like you send people to school. When you go to university, how many people did you develop a relationship with there? It's a system. When you send your children to primary school, who did you develop anything with? Or when you go from one primary school to secondary school, did you develop any, you are coming with Western idea, because that is Western people. They will say, oh, okay, you have to understand, you have to do this, and it will take forever.
Okay.
Yeah, things could be done.
It's possible. Yeah, I know it's possible.
Yeah. You want to say something?
No.
Everybody just sighing. What?
You finish.
Okay.
Yes, no, I will ask later when you finish.
So, some of the things that you have to know. So, for this group 1 in the camp is going to give them basic education. No, before then, let's talk about camp. What I talk quarantine. You see what's going to be. You remember one day I showed you one where I told you that we are going to have a large hospital for 200,000 people. I mentioned in one day. Yeah, did I mention it in one day? Yeah, so all the people, we will build a big hospital with 200,000 beds near the legacy zone. So that anybody that has medical issues will be doing operations, will be doing full medical service. It's going to be the biggest medical center in the world.
What do you mean?
Doing the most.
Legacy. You mean
Legacy zone. I mean, frontier. Please, thank you for being detailed. I wanted to say frontier. The frontier zone. Yeah, we'll build that big something. So we have to make sure that everybody is healthy. And this is another way to also form medical insurance for every Nigerian. Yeah. So on this stage, we are going to be doing biometrics and insurance.
Something just came. Sorry, I have to ask this question. So, in terms of rolling out these templates, is it going to be done state by state or
zone by? There are going to be 6 geographical zones.
Okay.
And then there is going to be one main, the super staging stage.
Yeah. You have regional staging areas and super staging areas.
Okay. And it'll be happening simultaneously in all the zones. Okay.
So then that is what you have at the boot camp. You are really, cause you are thinking about many things. Eh? Okay, no problem. Let's continue going. And you will answer your questions later. So extensive medical, physical, something. Then the one is, okay, this level is basic education. Like I told you, people who cannot read and things like that. On this one is static knowledge. All right, that's when you make them, they have, then this one is static knowledge as well, and high something education. Then it's also here dynamic knowledge, orientation, and career. So you know, we are going to give them skills. You know the way we did with the Russians? Skills, expertise. You will know how to do things. For example, every man should know how to take care, repair his car, or you know, do something in the house, and just basic things. Yeah, and every woman also will know how to cook, how to pour water. Because, for example, I went to Nigeria with my team one time, and you know the way, I don't know maybe people know it, they have some people they call protocol in churches. And they are these ladies, women who are bankers, who are successful people, educated women. They are pouring water for you, bringing food. You know, I don't know why they are using elite to do that. But anyway, one of my ladies who was with me, the white lady here, so she was saying, why is it that when they pour the juice for you, it's always pouring down? The juice, they pour when you come like that. It's not the overrunning after it's, huh? It's all the drip always. So they say, we went to Ibadan. We had women also who were doing the same thing. Benin City, it was always, they always had the drip. Then they always have an handkerchief to, you know, to clean it. And they, what is that? You don't know what is that? That's a problem now, because Europeans, when Europeans do it, in school, they have taught them in primary school, you can pour water and juice, you will never have a drop. It's a skill, it's a tactic. It's our people, even me, I was hearing that for the first time myself, even though I was their pastor. They thought they were telling me that I was going to be surprised like them. I said, so when you two are, you really doesn't know. You mean it doesn't drop? So she was so sad, and she was saying, people, these women, you know, I pity them so much, and they are trying their best. They don't even know elementary stuff. They have not been trained. Wow. So, but they don't know that in Nigeria it's trained by observation or by experience. It's just by, you know, just try and error, yes. So they don't know that all those women, nobody trained anybody, even though they are bankers or something, but they never had training how to pour water so that it doesn't pour. Who talks about that? Or for example, one lady came and said, Pastor, don't use that cup. I said, why? He said, they didn't wash it well. I said, they wash it now. You say it's still wet. Yeah. You know, when it's washed and it's wet like that with water everywhere, it means they didn't use soap.
Yeah. They didn't use soap?
They just rinsed it. They just rinsed it. And they say it was not washed. I said, but you see water, you say it's not washed. The water is everywhere now. He said, yeah, that's what I'm saying. If it is washed, there will be no water. Yeah. I said, okay. So the people, the white people, they know all those kind of little things. And my own people, I will teach you how to say water. Have you washed the water? Go and wash. Your mother will tell you, wash the glass. You go and wash it and bring it. That's all. Not all of them. Okay.
Maybe it's the Russian. I've lived in the room.
No, I think
it's like no. Definitely no. Not all of them.
I learned it from them, so I know they.
Maybe not all of them, yeah. But these ones in their country, they are trained in it. Every man is trained, every woman is trained in those things. So those are the kinds of things I'm talking about. That here they have to be trained. Everybody has to be trained like that.
And those are the little things that even at grade R, I don't know, kindergarten. Something like don't litter. Yeah. It's something that they are taught, so that you must know that there is a dustbin.
You don't litter.
Yes. And sometimes you see that in other countries it doesn't happen. You see the city or wherever they stay, there's paper all over them.
For example, I'll tell you.
Those are little things.
Another day, I was traveling with my team as well in Nigeria, and there was a guy from Sweden who was with me in the car. He's 60 years old. So, but in front of us, there was a bus, there was just a car going. And every day, somebody is throwing something from the car. Either they just finished the ice cream or the Coca-Cola. They are just throwing it in the street. Right from the window of the car. Moving cow. So, paper or anything. So when this Swedish guy saw it, he said, I am 58 years old. In all my 58 years in Sweden, I never saw a human being throw something like that. a human being throw something on the floor, not just from the car, but from the car to do that. I don't know how barbaric you have to be. So these are the kind of things that will be happening here. Huh? No, it has to be replaced. How to use the toilet, how to use the restroom, defecation. You know they have defecation in Nigeria. You know everybody just, especially the men, even the women. So a lot of those kind of training have to take place. Please, Galina, ce može što pisati? Napiši mi na Skype biometrics and medical insurance at the boot camp stage to include biometrics and medical insurance. So the frontier zone will be made up of the following. Maximum segment population will be 174. Total number of segments. This is one place. But you remember we talked about 200 and something. That is including other sites in regions. So anyway, this is now total something for all the Nigerians something. So the maximum segment in one frontier is 174. Total number of segments will be, that is for the infrastructure. You remember, because remember, frontier is not only this one we are talking about. I'm just dealing with this now because that's a topic, how to reorient people. But in frontier, we have this going on and this also going on. So these are all frontier. Okay? So when I'm describing this, when I'm talking about this now, I'm not just talking about the human side. It's the whole frontier I'm talking about. Are you getting it? Okay, so maximum segment population 174, total number of segments 2,235. You remember I showed you this 235. The roads, the fragment. You remember we spoke about 50 kilometer times 235. Yeah. Total population of all segments will be 40 million. But that is talking about all including. Okay, you will see now. Population of regional staging area will be 1 million. You know, population of all 6 regional staging area. That is where, by the time we have been, at the time, trained at the time. So that will be 1 million. In all 6, this is the question you ask. Because it will be in all 6 regional staging areas. That is all geopolitical zones. So it will be 6 million. Population of super staging area will be 4 million. But that is the big main one. That is by the time we are doing, they are not, it's not they are not going to be at one time, or it's going to be like movement, like we said. Total frontier population. So frontier will be able to do 50 million. So by the time we do it in 1 year, by the time we do it the 3 years, we will have 150 million people. Yeah. Nigerians passing through it. By the time we do 4 years, we'll be able to do 200 million Nigerians. Okay, the frontier zone will be made up of the following. Average weekly frontier inflow. That is weekly now. 235,000. You know the way we started. Okay. Average weekly frontier outflow will be the same. But it's weekly. Okay. Total frontier capacity, 50 million. Frontier medical city location, remember the thing I talk about, that is the 200 is this one. Medical city capacity, 200,000 beds. Because, you remember in the beginning when they come, frontier airports will be this. Total frontier helipads will be 252 helipads.
That medical location, where is that?
Medical. I showed you the last. It's going to be near the frontier, the big frontier.
Okay.
So this is the frontier segment now. This is what we are dealing with today. right? But at the same time, you know, I told you construction will be going on. So what are those constructions going on? Grade 1 highway, right of way for hyperloop, railway, fiber optics, pipelines, high tension power line. All that is going on at the same time during Frontier, because those are the experiments. It has, you know, you have to experiment before they now extend to the red zone, to the legacy zone. I think you're getting what I'm saying. Okay, it has to start somewhere. Okay, so let's stop. We can stop now and sit down, and we will do like we did yesterday. We are going to put on the live broadcast and discuss. Till 12.